Democrats and Republicans both appear to be standing firm as we head into the weekend. Joining us now to help explain is political analyst Dr. John Hart. Aloha and good morning, Dr. Hart. Thank you so much for stopping by with us.
Aloha.
Okay, so Democrats argue that health care and ACA, Affordable Care Act tax break would expire and it would rocket everybody's health care prices. Do you find that argument compelling for voters out there?
Yes, I think the bottom line is the Republicans have been after this for a long time. It's the last Obama legacy that I think they want to put to rest. And I do think it would be significant. I think most people do understand this. I think that's why the Democrats have decided this is where they're going to draw the line in the sand.
Republicans, meanwhile, are holding firm with their House-passed bill. We're expecting another vote today at 7:30, although we're not expecting that one to pass due to the filibuster, 60 seats needed. As far as what President Trump is planning, he's planning on making cuts to both federal programs as well as workers and holding back funding from Democratic-controlled areas of the country, including areas that have Democratic senators, like here in Hawaii, where we have 2 Democratic senators. Do you think we'll see some impacts here in the islands?
Oh, absolutely, and they will be major. Nonprofits, huge hits. Social services, huge hits. These are both subsidized by the federal government. And I think people need to remember that we have a disproportionate number of federal employees in Hawaii compared to many other states. So we will be hit. The huge issue is going to be how long does the shutdown last, and will Trump go through with his threats to make many of the cuts in terms of staffing for social programs permanent?
Now, Republicans do control both houses of Congress. They control the White House, and then they have the majority as far as conservatives on the Supreme Court. Do you feel like they're doing a good job of convincing the American public that this is a Democratic problem with the shutdown right now?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, look at the frame we just talked about. Republicans are trying to get through the vote. It's a Democratic filibuster. And that is true, but at the same time, for one party to convince everyone that the shutdown isn't on them when they control the presidency, the House, the Senate, and the courts is pretty good politics.
We'll see if we get some negotiations. I know you don't have a crystal ball. Do you feel like we're in this for the long haul?
You know, we're in uncharted waters. We've actually never gone to this recently. It's always been threatened, but there's always been that last-minute deal. So how long, how painful, we'll have to watch. If it goes on a long time, you will definitely see issues. In other words, the problem really isn't this year. It could fold on to next year in terms of budgeting. Nonprofits have enough money for now. They have reserves. But what happens when those money runs out, when the federal net is gone?
And if the federal net is gone, you might see some public outcry. Do you feel like that would prove to be something that could swiffen negotiations if you do have a lot of public outcry?
Well, it depends on what the outcry is. A lot of people are willing to go against their own interests for philosophies they agree. So we'll see.
Back here locally, we do have an interesting race going on. Congressional District 1, of course, we don't have that election until next year. But Representative Ed Case is being challenged right now by 2 Democrats from the state Senate, and Jarrett Kailole, as well as Della Al-Baladi from the House of Representatives. What do you make of this challenge that is coming to Representative Case right now?
Well, it's interesting because Ed actually gets an extremely high percentage of the voters. He gets more percentage than any other federal office holder, and all of them do quite good. Maybe that's because some Republicans vote for him. But bottom line is he's usually popular. At the same time, he's clearly taken positions that are not in line with many in the party. And so there has been some talk about running against him. I don't know anyone high up in the party that has officially endorsed this. Remember, bottom line is he is an incumbent Democrat. The issue in the long run is going to be when someone like this isn't challenged, they raise money and they give it to close races. Case will now have to take the money he's raising and spend it himself. So that, I think, is the huge difference, is that this is money that could have gone elsewhere. My guess is these 2 people in the primary are going to split whatever protest vote it is, making it easy for Case to hold a seat that he was already pretty safe to hold.
Very interesting times politically, both locally as well as, of course, nationally. Dr. Hart, thank you so much for joining us to break it all down.
Always a pleasure.